Kill him.
Are all those humans? Just how evil does someone have to be to do something like this?
Hello. Rosora wants to be your friend. Will you be my friend? Hello. Rosora wants to be your friend. Will you be my friend? Rosora wants to be free. But I need my shoes to do that. Please, please help me travel the world. Help me to hold your hand and dance. I will wait for you here. Rosora was locked in a birdcage. I don't know how long I was there. A white butterfly woke me up and freed me. And I followed the white butterfly all the way here. But I lost my shoes while I was running. I don't know where they came off. I have a precious friend. I miss that friend dearly. We played all the time at the Rose Estate. Our hearts were filled with joy. Rosora wants to see her friend again. That's why I have to go back there. I want to go back to the Rose Estate. But to do that, Rosora needs her shoes. Please, please help Rosora. I will wait for you here.
Carnival Garden. The tram station's that way. I think it's our best chance of getting out of here. Oh, now that's what I call a dance number. Come on, let's see your best moves.
need my shoes to be... Oh! You found my shoes! Thank you! Rosora is so happy! Now I can run! I can dance! I can go anywhere! I can go back to the Rose Estate! You gave me back my freedom. So here's a present. For you. It's called Rosora's Treasure. No matter where I end up, I'll remember you. The friend who helped free Rosora. I'll go to the Rose Estate now. With each step the shoes and I take, I'll think of you. My new friend.
Oh, if it isn't a stalker. Play acting the hero who saves the world, huh? Meanwhile, I have chosen instead to simply look upon this ruined world from this grand little vantage point. Really add some zest and extravagance to my tea time. But this situation really hasn't helped the costs of my already expensive hobby. So, a transaction is always welcome. That is a key, yes. A key to one of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood's hideouts. I assume a member of the Brotherhood dropped it somewhere. But only a fool or a lunatic would loiter around one of their hideouts. So, no. It isn't selling all that well, actually.
The stage is set! Now, be our guest! Step right up and do your best!
that missing persons poster. You saw it too, right? The name reads Romeo. Romeo, the legendary Stalker's apprentice. Since we're back in the past, there's a chance we might run into him. So, let's stay strong and carry on.
Hello? Is someone there? You there? I hear you. Can you help an old blind lady? This easel before me, it's not supposed to be empty, is it? Do you see a painting on the ground? It's mine. Pick it up and give it to me. Quickly. Even though I can't see, I can tell from the feel of the canvas. Oh, thank the heavens. This is my painting. It is very precious to me. Since losing my sight, this piece has given me courage. I'm sure you would love to hear my story. Once, I was a high-ranking alchemist, with a dream and a purpose. I dedicated my life to the cause of human evolution. Unfortunately, I suffered an accident in the laboratory. The incident damaged my eyes. I could no longer work. But the accident turned out to be a blessing. Stumbling in the dark, I found a painting that revealed the path of truth through art. What do you think? What do you see when you look at my painting? You have a good eye. This painting inspired me greatly. I lost my sight, but I see the path I must walk. You know, the world is a dark, cold, and isolating place. However, I am attuned. I tread the path. I will find the light, the brilliance that illuminates art. I tread the path.
Hotel Krat. I know, I still can't believe it myself. This must be before the grand opening.
Well, well, a stalker. Or so I assume, judging by your attire and demeanor. And yet your face is unknown to me. To me? Ridiculous. You're a sweeper, perhaps? But no matter. Ignorant fools say that we are adversaries, but in truth, our relationship is not that hostile. I do so look forward to working with you. Have you something to say? Red hair. Red hair. Could you be speaking of Leia Florence? Why didn't you just say so? If you're looking for the legendary stalker, you should just come out with it. But, if I may ask, what could you possibly want with a living legend? A helper, you say? Yes, she was here. But she took that lift, headed down. Simply said she had something to take care of, but heaven knows what that could be. Perhaps she's gone to slay that poor, crazed lunatic. The one afflicted with the petrification disease. She is the legendary stalker, after all. There's a reason they say only merciful death remains in her wake. Perhaps you've heard the tale of the Blood Artist. Just one of the monikers of a murderous puppet that targeted only the upper crust of society. It was a dreadful affair. Many a stalker tried to apprehend the Blood Artist, only to die by his blade. But he was no match for one in particular, who took him down on her own. The stalker not only beat the Blood Artist in single combat, but she utterly dismantled him. And she goes by the rather pedestrian name, Leia Florence. Though most everyone just calls her by the loftier moniker, the legendary stalker. Romeo? Never heard of him. Oh! The sidekick. The legendary stalker's young apprentice, I suppose. He could be the reason she's been so, on edge of late. I beg your pardon? What year is it? Are you under the influence of some strange medication? You may well want to study the provenance of your petrification cure. A word to the wise, don't trust any medicine that an alchemist doesn't hand to you personally. The Monad Charity House. You've heard of the Rose Estate? That's where you'll find your cure. If you're looking for the legendary stalker, she took that lift, went down. Well, don't let me...
Yes. A new face appears. How do things fare outside, Master Stalker? Let me introduce myself. I am Klaus, merchant extraordinaire and collector of rare ergo. Indeed, you'll be hard-pressed to find a merchant more skilled than I in the handling of all precious goods. You're lucky to find me in a place such as this. A rather uncouth stalker simply dumped me here and left. The world is crumbling before our eyes, and so are people's manners, it seems. As a merchant, it is quite frustrating being stuck here inside this empty hotel. I beg of you, regale me with news of the city when you can, and perhaps buy something, huh? Oh, that person, I heard her called the legendary Stalker. Well, she certainly lives up to the name. When she rescued me at the zoo, she had no trouble hoisting my hefty body and tossing me about without so much as a grunt of effort. She muttered something about searching for her apprentice in a laboratory, but she was so on edge that I pressed no further. Still, I must say it is not unreasonable to expect better treatment and a friendlier demeanor from your rescuer. Do you mean the leader of the bastards? The man standing over there? My weak heart and spirit prevent me from speaking to such an imposing fellow. I've heard he's quite capable and holds influence over others in many ways. He is conducting important work. But he does frighten me to no end. I'm sure he's a good man, but please don't reveal I spoke ill of him. I'm sorry, you want to know the year? I don't understand the question. You must be referring to the swirling rumors about an era of calamity coming due to the worsening situation with the petrification disease. Let's see, what other news? I hear the opening of the Grand Exhibition will be cancelled. Also, whispered voices say the alchemists lost something. What that might be, though, I cannot say. Besides that, nothing else significant comes to mind. The Rose Estate was my original destination. Many notable people fled there due to the petrification disease. Not to boast, but I am a rather famous merchant. I had received an invitation to the estate, and I was on my way there when I became engulfed by chaos. I should make my way to the estate, but my back pain, I'm glad the legendary Stalker rescued me, and it was an honor, though I'd wish he'd been gentler. I cannot sit or lie down. Oh, do you know how terribly inconvenient that is? Collecting is my passion. I especially love watches, but as a merchant, I deal solely in rare artifacts. I recently got my hands on a mysterious set of ancient discs unearthed in the ruins. I was taking them to the Rose Estate for an exclusive showcase, but I lost them all in transit due to the chaos engulfing the city. If it wasn't for my injured back, I'd be out searching for them right now. I say, if you find any of my ancient discs, I will reward you handsomely. I cannot believe my eyes. You found one of my discs. I'm touched, truly. Collecting may seem a silly thing to you, but this simple act connects me deeply to the larger world. Just imagine, who were the ancient beings who engraved these discs? Did they worship a god, curse a devil? Or had they endured dark times as we have and sought the solace of an angel? Imagining others reaching the light after a dark night gives me hope this nightmare will end. Now, if you find more discs, I will offer you other valuable rewards in exchange. As a merchant,
be Leia? No one in our time knows how she disappeared or how she died. Even if she died. I was hoping it's got nothing to do with this disturbing alchemist facility, at least.
No! Mercy! Please, don't kill me. Please. See, the legendary Stalker, just left me here. Oh, I'm not an alchemist. Spare me. Spare my life. Please, please. I heard she was looking for someone. I heard it. I did. To think I tried to kill her. The legend herself. Twice. What an idiot I am. Good thing I failed. Failed twice. I never could. I wanted to, but no, I'm sorry. The Stalker, gone. But still, she went deeper into the laboratory. We came in with Veronique, yes, and we were a vanguard. But it was a trap. The alchemists were waiting in ambush. The things they did. But that's over. They're gone, aren't they? Everything's wrong. What strange drugs did they fill me with? Don't deny it. It is slow, but sure, steady, and so strange. I will become a monster. I have seen such things. My fellow vanguard, please, I don't want to die. No, help me, please.
Say the deceased was an alchemist. A high-ranking one, too. Could be the warden. Even he fell to the legendary Stalker in a single blow. So, no warden, no control. Would explain all the chaos here. exactly are the alchemists researching anyway? It has to be for a cure. How else could they justify such horrifying deeds? Oh, I want to forget what we saw, but I can't. Veronique? She sounds completely insane. Leia could be facing off against her this very moment. But I bet we can help her. Let's hurry.
where we die! Alchemist bastard! What did your drugs do to me? I am indomitable! Bear the pain, Veronique! Never surrender! I did terrible things to you. That drug, their cure, it twisted my mind. I put you in danger. I'm sorry. Please, I beg of you, nothing must leave this place. This cursed lab. Those cursed beings. Their test subject. Created from the legacy of the ruins. The two-faced overseer. It cannot be allowed to live. Do me this one last favor. If you mean that red-headed stalker, she did pass through here. Back when I could still think straight. We were rivals once. In the end, she showed true compassion. I'm done. Head to the coast. Find Leia. I die as I lived, without regret. Remember me, Veronique of Krat.
bitter end. But even if we could have helped her, it was far too late. At least her suffering is over. I hope she can be at peace and rest now.
I suppose I should expect to meet strange people in such a strange place. I smell blood on you. But, interesting. It's the blood of alchemists. Still, that doesn't prove we aren't enemies. Let me get this straight. Quite by accident, you found an object belonging to the legendary Stalker at the zoo. If all that is true, can you show me this object? This is a photo of Leia and her two apprentices. This locket does belong to her. I'll take you at your word that you wish to help Leia. I'll trust you. For the moment. My name is mine to hold. But you have my word that I am not your enemy, nor Leia's. I consider any enemy of the alchemists an ally. Stay and rest a while. I'm tracking a dangerous relic the alchemists freed from the ruins. A calamity that is wreaking torment upon Krat. But the immense power of that relic wasn't enough to satisfy the alchemists. They also retrieved the remains of the ancient warrior that was protecting it, and conducted vile experiments on their finds. These experiments have yielded results already, transforming one test subject into a living weapon. I must stop this monster before they unleash it upon the city. If you plan to continue exploring this facility, take this horn. Blow it if you find the two-faced overseer. No matter where you are in this facility, I'll hear it and come to your aid. I'm just someone fighting against the alchemists. I have my reasons, but I must hide my identity to protect the person most dear to me. I can't rest until I finish investigating the alchemists. If you're open to it, I would like to ask for your assistance. Legendary. Leia probably hates that title. She stepped up only because no one else could. Too many stalkers were lost to that evil, murderous puppet. But a great title such as that comes with many risks. And now, Romeo is in danger. Leia is desperate to find any news of him. It must be even worse for her since she has lost an apprentice once before. Would you like to ask me anything more? Trouble erupted at the zoo, and Romeo went to deal with it alone. Leia and Romeo had their own brand of justice. I wouldn't call them vigilantes, but they did their best. Regardless, Romeo could handle himself. Nothing should have troubled him on this mission. But he went missing. It's possible that this is some old grudge coming back to stab Leia in the back. Being the legendary Stalker does make you a constant target to resentful enemies. Leia maintains several places along the coast that she uses as base camps. I'd seek her out in that area. The Rose Estate, you say? I have heard whispers, mere rumors really, that an underground tram runs to the estate. If true, the tram should be at the end of this very facility. Take a look at this. This tree. What could it possibly be? It looks almost human-like. I dare not imagine what plans they have for it. But I'm certain this tree bears significance. If you find the Overseer, be sure to blow the horn. No matter where you are in this facility, I will come find you.
Well met, Master Stalker. Are you well? Well met. Oh my, you found my bag. Thank you. It may look ordinary on the outside, but the inside is filled with treasure. In fact, I'm quite certain it contains items you may find particularly useful. As a reward, I would be glad to sell some to you, huh? Well met.
think our test subject is behind that door. Where else could it be? There's a steel, buddy. Let's show this overseer who it's like.
Rest in peace, wretched warrior. A hard-fought victory over a dangerous opponent, but we have granted its soul eternal rest. May this creature which woke to misery find peace. You showed great skill during this fight. You must have had a great teacher. In fact, your fighting style reminds me of someone. Well, my mission here is complete. I'll make my way to Hotel Krat from here. If you're looking for more clues about the alchemists, you should head there as well. Well, my mission here is complete.
I need more time. I'm coming, Romeo. I swear I won't be late. Not again. Not like I was with Carlo.
Those steps. What have you there? I smell ink, turpentine, and oil paint. You found my art supplies. I thought these gone forever when I lost them. And to think, a stranger would bring them back to me. Thank you. It's as if you've gifted me the light that I seek. Now, I can finally follow the path and complete my painting. My masterpiece. I have very little to give in return, but have this as a token of my gratitude. Now,
you made it out of the underground facility. I'm glad you're okay. Speaking of which, I see you have an alchemist's cipher machine. These are devices used to store confidential information. Decrypting it should reveal what the owner's hidden, but it requires a matching key. Luckily, I found a few during my travels. If I might, I will take it off your hands. I can't offer anything in exchange, but if I can unlock it, we could gain valuable insight about the alchemists. We share a common enemy, so I would like to offer my cooperation. Any enemy of the alchemists is a friend of mine. Come to me anytime. Let's unlock it and see what's inside. We're in luck. It still functions. This reminds me of a tale I once heard about the ghost crocodile that haunts the zoo. Most people thought it was an urban legend, but I'd always found it troubling. Find the mounted crocodile at the zoo. It might provide a clue. Any enemy of the alchemists is a friend of mine. Come to me. I did some investigating on my own. As I suspected, Romeo's disappearance is linked to Leia's history. Perhaps you don't know. Long ago, Leia neutralized an infamous killer puppet. This act may be part of its revenge. At the moment, we know nothing of this puppet's whereabouts. That is what troubles me most. Look into the name, Arlecchino. I worry about Leia. This may be a fight she cannot face alone. If you can, please lend her your strength. I'm unsure if I should even tell you this. Leia suffers from the petrification disease. She hides it from the world, but she can't fool me. I have no idea how long she has left, but for someone like her, it is a wretched, tragic fate. There's very little to be done to help her. It is frustrating. Since Leia and I are not strangers to one another, I have been seeking a cure, but so far to no avail. The official statement is that the alchemists are developing a cure, but I would be wary of any help they offered. Perhaps a true cure will be found someday, but there is nothing we can do for her right now. I gave Leia painkillers that help her endure the worst of the disease. Regardless, it must be difficult. Please help her by fighting at her side. In this moment, what she needs is an ally.
Oh, dear me! An authentic pocket watch made by a master horologist of the age. A true masterpiece. See its distinctive shine, huh? You know, the first workshop techs were master horologists, clockmakers from foreign lands. Their watches are as intricate as automated puppets. Isn't it just marvelous? My duty as a collector is to preserve these youthful passions of the greats. I would pay handsomely for this watch, if you are willing to sell it.
You investigated the mounted crocodile? So, Colonel Little was murdered. Most likely the taxidermist as well. To do something like this just to take control of the zoo. It seems human lives are nothing but tools to them. I'm glad you revealed the truth to their lies. You are a force for good. I am honored by our continued partnership. Any enemy of the alchemists is a friend of mine. Come to me anytime.